What's some juicy gossip you just found out in your personal lives? Last and final edit: as of the 21st of July 2019, I have now left this job after far too much bullshit, including me having to deal with constant panic attacks as well as severe depression and anxiety stemming from the constant terrible people I had to deal with every day. I have since moved on to a new job, and as of me quitting on the 12th of July 2019, nothing was done against this manager that I know of. I do still have friends working there, for the time being, seeing as many of us are quitting in droves, who will keep me up to date, but as of now I know nothing. Sorry to make it a lame ending with no outcome, but I needed to get out of that place before I jumped off a cliff or put a bullet in my head. Original post: my office manager has a huge giant massive HR case being built against her because she's been pulling royally shady shit. Last year, some of us had been having issues with system access at my job, thankfully not me. It's a known issue and it's been getting fixed here and there, but then it rears its head again. Anyway, about 5 or 6 months ago, a friend of mine in another department started losing access. My office manager, who is my boss, she runs the whole friggin' Megillah, tells this person to go home for the day since you don't have system access, and specifically told that it wouldn't be held against her. So, what the hell? It's not like she can do her job anyway, right? She goes home. This happens about 8 more times where she comes to work and her systems don't work and she is told to go home. Now, fast forward to about 2 weeks before the year ended. The girl who's been being sent home gets called over by her manager and told that she has to sign a final written warning. When asked why, she is told it's because she has used all her FMLA and sick leave. She said that is not possible and asks for proof before signing the document. Her manager pulls up all the times and days it was used and, lo and behold, it was every single time she was told to go home because of system access. This is, of course, illegal as shit. My co-worker did not choose to go home. She did not choose to use her FMLA and sick leave. My office manager did that for her. So just about 3 weeks ago, my co-worker gets called into our office manager's office and is told that she needs to give up her medical records. Also illegal as frick. She declined and told her she will not do that and is still not signing the final written warning. She then proceeded to call HR with all of this, who then tells her, "It's funny you should bring this to our attention because you're not the only one who's called us about things like this happening with her. We're building a case against her as we speak. Shit's about to go down and I'm frickin' here for it. I hate my job, and I've actively been looking for a new one, but part of me wants to stick around to see if they tote her ass off to jail, or the mass shit show that will happen when she's fired." Edit. Woo boy, this got blown out of proportion. I promise everyone if I'm around for the aftermath, I will update somehow lol. No clue how long this case has been being built by HR and no clue how long it will take to come to fruition, but if I'm here for it, and it does, I'll definitely do something to update everyone who's interested lol. Edit 2. Electric Boogaloo. Nothing so far folks. I think this case might take longer to build than you or even I am thinking. Trust me when I say, I wanna see this come to fruition just as much as you guys do. Edit 3. The 18th of April 2019. Still nothing guys. I'm starting to think nothing's going to come of it. Or if it is, it's not going to be anytime soon. I will post a new thread in some subreddits somewhere when and if it happens, providing I still work there. Nice to see your HR dep doing something good for a change. I find they usually put the company's interests ahead of individuals. 1. Cousin's wife finally caught his cheating ass. 3 years he's been playing her for a fool, but she actually knew. She just loves him too much. 2. Heard that the donkey hole who got me fired got fired because of the email that I sent to the company's VP. Honestly wish I went with filing for a labor case though. 3. Apparently, I'm adopted. Not really sure if the ancestry thing works. I want to find my biological parents. So much stuff is happening. My sister is pregnant with her third child. Third guy. The first father, V, is awesome. He has custody of both their child and her second. No biological relationship to him. The second baby daddy has apparently been threatening my sister and V after learning of the third child and that V took her in. V and my sister still have a functional platonic relationship at this point, and due to fear of reproach from the second, and maybe the third, V has taken both kids, my pregnant sister, and his own so with him out of state to make sure there's no reproach from 2 or 3. V is one of my favorite humans. He treats the second child like his own, despite no longer being in a romantic relationship with my sister, since 2010. Dude is as good as they come, in my opinion. This world has too many 2s and 3s and not enough Vs. My friend just dropped out of university to become an escort. Good for him. Well, good news. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Some people want to. That my brother asked my mom for a $1,000 for rent. She gave him $1,400 so he could also pay back a loan. Then he turned around and also asked my dad for $1,000 for rent, which he also gave him. He then turned around and used the money to buy tickets to Burning Man. My parents aren't going to lend out any more money without talking to each other first. My sister did the same. Asked me for some money so she can buy a ticket to watch a movie. She said, "It's okay if I don't have money to buy drinks and popcorn. I just really want to watch the movie." I gave her extra so she can buy some food. Turned out that she said the same thing to my mom, dad and older sister. She had plenty of money to spare in the end. I hope one day she uses her powers for the greater good. That my brother asked my mom for a $1,000 for rent. She gave him $1,400 so he could also pay back a loan. Then he turned around and also asked my dad for $1,000 for rent, which he also gave him. He then turned around and used the money to buy tickets to Burning Man. And X200B, it may have been an honest mistake brought on by dizziness. I just found out my neighbor has been having an affair with another one of my neighbors and the kids figured it out. Nancy Drew and the "oh no, our parents are freaking." My ex, after 1 week of being single, started dating this SoundCloud rapper. Now she's pregnant with twins. Do his song slap though? He is the dollar version of Lil Pump from his music style to even the dreads. Lil Squirt. I'm a teacher, and apparently I don't pay attention to sheet. Last year, my vice principal announced that he will be leaving at the end of the year. Let's call him Mr. Bob. I was shocked, as I liked and respected him a lot. It was well known that he was pretty unhappy, and it had been a tough year. I was confused though, because nobody else seemed shocked or upset. At the end of the year, I thought it would be nice to have everyone sign a card for him, but when I took it around, people started giving me these weird looks. Fast forward to halfway through this year. One of our teachers showed up with a change of her last name. It was now Mrs. Bob. I congratulated her and said I didn't even know she was seeing anyone, to which she laughed and said, "You're so bad." I was confused and shook it off. Long story short, I just recently found out that she and Mr. Bob had fallen in love or something and he left his wife for her. He literally divorced his wife on a Thursday and was married by Friday. I had no idea until she mentioned his first name and that they were moving out of the state. Looking back on it, I facepalmed so much. His wife at the time also worked for the district, and at one point I ran into her and expressed how much I would miss working with Mr. Bob. She gave me a weird look and said, "Yeah, well apparently he's been pretty miserable." To which my dumbass responded, "Well, let's hope he finds what he's looking for." I assumed it was all about his job satisfaction. I'm such a donkey hole. This was a quality read. And also something I'd do. Our pastor was having an affair with his cousin's wife. One day while giving a sermon, the cousin storms into church, tackles the pastor and starts to throw haymakers at him. The cousin's wife is trying to pull her husband off the pastor. The pastor's wife quickly figured out what was happening, ran up and clocked the wife from behind, knocking her out. People are trying to separate everyone. Total chaos. I gotta start back going to church. Apparently I'm missing all the good stuff. Just found out the other week through the grapevine that 2 of my exes are now together. My friends were coming to me like, "Hey, didn't you used to date both of them? How did that happen?" One of them is very mild-mannered and relaxed and we ended it amicably because we were getting bored. The other one is hot-headed, impulsive, and motivated. That one ended because we both had trouble communicating our grievances in a healthy manner. Given my experience with both of them, I have no idea how they're gonna make it work, but I wish them both luck. Wonder if they bonded over a mutual dislike of you. It would be crazy if you weren't gay, but 2 of your heterosexual former lovers decided to get together. I'm not saying it's impossible, but from everything I know of them both, I doubt it. I can guarantee they've talked about me though. Hopefully good things, like how good I am at sex. Maybe bad things, like how bad I am at sex. Either way, it's not really any of my business, but it's definitely a possibility. My work requires everyone in our group have security clearance. It's boring work and the most basic of clearances. Wednesday, a co-worker's desk was completely cleaned out. We were told she lost her clearance and was fired. Weird. Her BFF spilled the beans later. Turns out Sharon had met a man online and they were madly in love. And she cashed out her $401k, her life savings and a second mortgage to send to him. She's 67. To no one's surprise, he is not a real person and it was all a scam. He claimed he was royalty from Enwaderia. Work found out when she started borrowing money from co-workers and it made its way to our boss. It's very sad, but still. WTF, she was around when the whole Enwaderian email scam was around. She should have known better. Teach a man to fish and he will always have food. Teach a man to fish and he will become a Enwaderian prince. Edit. Thanks strangers first Reddit gold and silver. Comma, she cashed out her $401k, her life savings and a second mortgage to send to him. She's 67. Loneliness will make you do crazy things. My dad is having an affair. Just found out 30 minutes ago. Mom is devastated, although I had my suspicions. They've been married for 46 years. Dad is 73. Sheet. I went through a similar experience. My parents were married 40 plus years. Divorced. He married a woman who is almost 20 years younger than me. My dad finally spilled the beans last Christmas when he finally admitted they had been married 10 years. I'm 54. My mom survived, but it was tough. I can't say much more BC details. I'm so sorry. It will get better. although it still hurts. Whereas I am totally aware how inappropriate it is, I can't help but wonder how old the mistress is. A young 61yo. A girl I worked with accused me of getting extremely drunk while babysitting her child and told the entire building of people I work with. For starters, I don't drink. She compulsively lies and everyone knows her for that, but I still can't believe it. Oh, and she paid me $10 for watching said kid and then stole it back and blamed it on one of my house guests. Wild. That my uncle left my auntie for the phone sex line worker he was calling for the last 3 years. This is the saddest story, for some reason. It's just freaking existentially sad. He'll probably save some money now, so there's that. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, https://yautu. BDRJ they've been around for years. That reminds me of the movie Speed, where they use phones to communicate, but the plot and the theme differ greatly. When an ex and I broke up a little over 4 years ago, it was bad. We were both getting clean and on methadone. The things that were said. November of 17, ex asked a mutual friend if he and his girlfriend could come stay with me since they were homeless. I'm an idiot. I can't say no. I was homeless for 10 or so years, so I know how bad it can be. When I kicked them out, they had stolen so much from me. I didn't have a lot to begin with. The beach even stole a bunch of my underwear. I literally just found out about an hour ago that she is in jail for possession. Got caught with 40 ounces of liquid heroin. Karma baby, karma. Edit. Thank you for my first platinum stranger. A year ago my family member, 26, discovered that his fiancée, 29, of 7 years, who he has 2 children with, had been having an affair with his younger brother, who just turned 18. His brother was living in his house rent-free at the time as well. So his fiancée left him for his brother and had a fling with him for a couple months. The younger brother is basically homeless now, jumping from friend to crash at their houses, while working at a job that he makes minimum wage at, $7.25, while she is still living under her ex-fiancé's roof. She then decided she wanted to work things out with her ex-fiancé, so they got back together and decided to reconcile the relationship, which left the younger brother furious. Shortly after that, she finds out she is pregnant but does not know which brother is the father. Her fiancé said he would raise the baby as his own even if it was not his. So she decides to keep the baby. This makes the younger brother more furious because she aborted the child before this baby that she knew was the younger brother's. So the younger brother verbally attacks her for aborting that child and keeping this one because there is a chance it is her fiancé's. She is unemployed during this time, so her fiancé is paying for all of the expenses. 9 months later, still unemployed, she has the baby and it ends up being the younger brother's child, and they all try to do co-parenting. The baby is 3 months old now and my family member's fiancé left him for his younger brother again. Edit. Thanks for the silver and gold. Edit. I edited the fiancé and fiancée errors I had in the initial post and added spaces to break up the whole post. Thank you. After all this, we tried to hang out with him and our other friends at our house to get his mind off the entire situation, and he invited her over. Did not ask us if it was okay or even mention it. She just showed up, knowing damn well everyone at our house does not want her there. He told us that if he is okay with hanging out with her, then we should also be okay with hanging out with her. Honestly, I've been stuck on this thread all day, and this is clearly the best one. What the frick? The older brother is a dumbus. My cousin has been together with his wife for 14 years and has had a girlfriend for just as long. Neither of them knew about the other. He got caught because of an image on Facebook. His wife's sister posted a family picture which my cousin was in and got recognized by his girlfriend's sister's acquaintance. He got away with that for 14 years. I'm always amazed when I hear stories like this. Like, how TF do you have time to lead two lives and not have them mix? I barely have enough time to see my BF. No idea how I could take on another relationship. And how do you respond when they want to meet your friends and family? My dad got away with it for 15 years, but technically my mom knew. She was the mistress. The wife didn't. I have a co-worker I'll call Jess, who always talks about her kids in detail and asks for favors because of her kids, i.e. picking up shifts, asking for rides, etc. One of our other co-workers' son goes to the same bar as said girl. She doesn't know who he is, and one N-word hut was spilling her gut about how she always takes advantage of her co-workers and that she doesn't even have kids. She doesn't know that we know Reddit. Thank you so much for all the comments, golden suggestions. I will definitely update everyone if anything interesting develops. Please update when you all bast her for her lies. Tell her you all nominated her for some family award and she won. And the prize is a trip to Disney. They want to get pictures of them all together. One of my workmates found another guy we work with on Tinder, but he's married with a 3-year-old at home, and his bio and photos said nothing about any of that. Are there Tinder profiles that do mention they're married with kids? My friend sent me a screenshot of some dude's Tinder bio that said married. No, she doesn't know I'm on here, and I plan to keep it that way. With multiple pictures of his face. My ex-wife and I finalized our divorce last June. She's giving birth in a few weeks with a guy she was cheating on me with. If it was anyone else I wouldn't care as much, but since it's this guy, it hurts. OLG email invited me to buy them gifts off of their baby registry, so I'm trying to think of the most petty item I could get, though I know I shouldn't show I give a shit. Buy them a paternity test. It will get in new guy's head. My divorce finalizes on the 1st of May. My wife just had her baby of the guy she cheated on me with in early February. It definitely hurts. She called me a few days ago asking for my Netflix password, so that made me feel a bit better somehow when I said no. Unless you want to get the baby or my mama's as a hoe. Baby grow. Don't buy her anything, that woman is taking the piss. Buy them a custom Onishi that says, I cheated on my boyfriend, and all I got was this baby. So I'm trying to think of the most petty item I could get. Get yourself successful, healthy, focused and more importantly, happy. Then when you look back at this sad charade, you can realize how utterly pointless these people are. Edit. Thank you for the silver. I am inspired all the time by random redditors, so I'm grateful I could pass on something meaningful. My gran has a brother who I've never heard of nor met, who lives in London. They lost all contact over 30 years ago after my granddad died, and he spent the money my gran sent him for transport up to Scotland for the funeral on drugs. My mum told me this over Facebook last week. My two friends just found out they have the same sugar daddy. They had both been under the impression that they were exclusive with him. Man, to be rich enough to sugar daddy for two girls at once. Truly the American dream. Not recently, but the biggest is that my aunt got arrested a while back for embezzlement. She didn't do any jail time, I don't think, just has to pay it back. This isn't much of a surprise though, because after the roof of the Blockbuster she managed collapsed, she stole all the candy lol. The second bit of this is my favorite part of this thread. My hairdresser is leaving her husband and 5 kids to marry an Italian basketball player. Magnifico. I hope when she flies to Italy she finds out he doesn't even play basketball. He plays bocce in the park and claims he used to play. Just some slick-haired, greasy Italian, who loves to wear Ferrari branded clothing, drives a Fiat and doesn't wash his hands. On his days off he spends time swearing at his neighbors for looking at his tomatoes and yells obscenities at his television screen while watching football. Manager is having threesomes with 2 servers. What would you do if you were a restaurant manager? I tell you what I do, man. Sometimes I SSH into 2 servers at once. I was told that my great-grandfather kept the family farm in business by blatant and repeated acts of insurance fraud. Hugh, I thought you were going to find a hidden slave shack at first. Well, my dog acts like she doesn't like our new cat, but I caught them playing last 10 words and as soon as she noticed me she runs over to me pretending she wasn't playing. Scandal. I have no life. This was the peak of my weekend. Edit. Thanks for the silver, my first silver. Who this weekend has now hit a new peak. Oh my goodness, and my first gold. Thanks everyone. This is too much excitement. I think I need a nap. The platinum killed her. My cat hated my wife. Well, everyone but me and my mom actually. Started traveling for work 3 weeks a shot. After a few months of this I come home one day and my cat was sleeping on my wife's lap. Cat wakes up, looks at me surprised, looks at her, hisses and jumps off acting like she didn't know how she got there. My wife says, "You beach, don't act like you haven't been cuddling with me for weeks." An ex-friend of mine from high school is now in the middle of the second divorce. Apparently it's because she cheated on her second husband with her now current boyfriend. This is the second time she's cheated on her husband and I'm curious if she'll marry the current boyfriend and then cheat on him. I hope she cheats on him with her first husband and then marries him again and then cheats on him with number 2 and then her and all the guys realize that the 4 of them belong together. My co-worker makes $10 an hour, works part-time and pays for her living, still married, boyfriend's rent and child support cause he's broke. She just found his bank receipt showing $17K in his checking account. Was this at least a wake-up call for her? Just found out that my brother, who divorced his ex-wife a year ago, got married to a new woman in secret. I mean secret as in that he hasn't told his own kids about it, 10 and 12 years old. He hasn't told us either, rest of the family. My mother just accidentally said it to all of us. So now we know but are to pretend we don't know. None of us have met his new wife that we don't know is his wife but still know is his wife. Does your mother know why he would want to keep his marriage a secret? Probably because he just got divorced and remarried so fast so people would probably judge him. I know I am and I don't even know the guy. Coming from Upload Your Mom. Thanks for watching. I publish new videos every day. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe.